Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. It's Saturday, April 20th, 2024. Appreciate all of you being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please do that. Also, share these videos with your friends and family. Let's continue to wake people up, build this community. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And again, thank you for the comments. Thanks for interacting with one another. It's been a sporadic last 5 or 6 days for me with getting videos posted. It's just a long week at the office last week. I think I shared several depositions I took in a case that required really, probably 12-hour days between taking the depositions and the preparation time. Look, I'm not complaining. I just wanted to explain why I hadn't been putting any videos up. I appreciate the work. I feel very fortunate to have good clients, good solid work I can do and earn a good living for my family. That's what it's all about. So again, I know a lot of you are working, more than one job, piecing things together, trying to make ends meet, and I understand that. So we're all doing what we have to do to pay the bills, pay the mortgage, pay the insurance that we know is going up. So let's continue to do that. Thanks for everyone, again, your patience. And I want to just say hi today. I had a few things I want to share with you. I saw in the news cycle. I did receive a comment the other day. My last video, I was talking about the fact that I had, kind of rushed to put together, not rushed, but I had signed on to a new case and basically stressed to get something prepared and filed in a very short period of time. And the comment was something to the effect, well, why don't you have someone doing that stuff for you? It's interesting, the evolution I've gone through over almost 30 years now of running this business. And I've had those years. I've had many, probably more years than not, where I had staff. I had a couple, legal secretaries. I had a billing clerk. I had a couple paralegals on staff. I had some contract attorneys doing things. And, yes, you can generate more revenues doing that, but you also have a much larger overhead going out. And it's interesting, over the years, I have found that my sweet spot really is just doing the work myself, handling the cases myself, drafting the documents, not delegating the work. And it's not a matter of being cheap. It's just a matter of I am better running lean and mean. Everyone, if you have your own business, comment below. What do you guys, what's your approach? Some kind of business, obviously, you have to have staff. You've got to have a whole host of people doing work. In my business, I don't need to do that. And again, over the years, what I've found is just shrinking everything down. My overhead now is less than it's probably ever been. I do the work myself. I have no problem going to the post office, standing in line. I don't have a problem writing the letters, taking the calls, calendaring the appointments. I mean, I just kind of see it's kind of nice to get back to the basics there and handle everything from A to Z. Also, when you're delegating stuff to people, a lot of times you have to redo that, especially in my line of work. If I'm delegating the drafting of a document or the preparation of something or whatever it is, I have to understand what's going on, and I have to sometimes find myself redoing the work. And that's inefficient. You're still paying staff that you have to pay, and it's having to be duplicated. So my style is I just kind of do it all now. My profit margins, I will say, are much higher than they've ever been. And so for me, that formula kind of works. Is it more stress on me sometimes? Yes, it probably is. But on balance, I don't mind once in a while doing that, jumping through extra hoops to get the stuff done, just so I can kind of keep this lean and mean, if you will, operation going. And I tell you guys this, if you're looking to start your own business, do not overcommit. Do not start bringing on staff and getting yourself into substantial overhead positions that you may not be able to handle. And look, we've been in tough economic times, and I think it's going to keep getting worse. So you do not want to over leverage. You don't want to sign on to a long-term commercial business lease or office lease that oftentimes the owners and landlords make you guarantee personally. You don't want to make all these financial commitments, certainly in uncertain economic times, but also until you understand where the business is going to be. Even me with a word of mouth business, repeat client, and a client base that I have now, I still am very cautious about overhead, cautious about overextending and taking on obligations that I don't need to do. So anyway, I'll shift gears on that, but I wanted to respond to that one comment. I'm not taking issue with it. It's just that for my approach right now, my business model, it makes more sense for me. All right. Today, this news, again, I get frustrated by this sometime. And you'll know why I share this kind of stuff on the channel often. This is out of Zero Hedge. It obviously was across CNBC and other news sources. The House evidently has passed a $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. The article's out of Zero Hedge, the one I chose to share. It says the House on Saturday passed a set of foreign aid bills that would send $61 billion to Ukraine, $26 billion to Israel, and $8 billion to the Indo-Pacific region. It says in total, the foreign assistance package totals $95 billion. Which only passed after Speaker Mike Johnson cut a deal, it says, with Democrats in order to force it through by a vote of 311 to 112. I wouldn't call that a real close vote, so I'm not going to weigh in on that. I just want to share with you the fact that this did pass the House today. It says it's deemed a victory against conservative lawmakers who insisted on protecting the U.S. border before sending money abroad to protect those of other countries. We discuss the border issue on this channel all the time. I know it's not popular with the YouTube algorithms, which I think are continuing to suppress what's happening on this channel. I'm not going to go there, but look, this package is, again, sending a lot of money that we're going to print. We don't have. We're the biggest debtor nation in the history of the world. We have the printing press, so we keep just mouse click money creation. And so we're sending $95 billion, again, abroad to help other countries. Notably, it says, absent from this package is not even one dime for the U.S. border. And I'm going to give you a quote here from one of the representatives. It says, nothing is done to secure our border or reduce our debt. So Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican in Georgia, whose outrage was shared with Republicans Thomas Massie of Kentucky and Paul Gosar of Arizona, who say they're really they're ready to boot Johnson, it says, from his speakership. So obviously there is some backlash here in the House relative to that. It's got to go to the Senate still for ultimate passage, but the fact that we don't have any, let's say, we don't have enough of our leaders that are understanding the border is got to be a top priority, given that it's presenting drain on everything in this country from our resources. We're going to discuss housing next, even our housing situation. The jobs are going to these immigrants. The draining our public services. It never ends. So when you see this kind of stuff, for me, it's very, very frustrating. And the security, we talk about this all the time. The security concerns this country has because of the illegal and criminal element coming in to this country is overwhelming. And we really don't even know how deep that rabbit hole is, but it's obviously getting worse. So anyway, that's the information on this new bill, or several bills that are going to go to the Senate. I'll keep you posted on that. The next article, two more stories I want to share with you, both about housing. and the unaffordability of housing in this country for our middle class, and absolutely for our lower class. But for our middle class, home ownership was always kind of expected. You would just have a home. You had a home, and you qualified for it. You had a little mortgage. That's not the case anymore. So let me share with you. This is out of the Zero Hedge. Middle class today. Middle class can't afford homes in nearly half of top 100 U.S. metros, the study finds. It says housing is becoming an exclusively upper class privilege in a growing number of cities. According to a new study by Credit News Research in 2024, middle class households could afford to buy an average home in just 52 of the 100 largest metros. It says just 5 years earlier, 5 years, they could afford a home in 91 of those 100 metros. The situation is far worse for lower middle class households, as they can only afford a home in 7 of the largest 100 metros. In total, it says 41 out of 100 metros require a gross annual income of $100,000 or more to qualify for an average home. In 13 metros, an average income of more than $155,000 is needed. The study determined affordability by looking at how much income households need to earn to afford a down payment, the mortgage payment, and related fees for an average home. And it says a home is considered affordable monthly housing and mortgage costs if they don't exceed 28% of a person's gross income. It says since the pandemic, 30 of the most populous metros have fallen below the affordability threshold for people. The most affordable areas for the middle class are located in the Midwest, the Rust Belt, and parts of Texas, while the West Coast, the tri-state area, and Hawaii are largely, it says, out of reach. It says that's all thanks to a perfect storm, and we discuss this all the time. Those with an annual income of up to says for those with an annual income of up to $75,000, those could only afford about 1/4 of the listings on the market last year. So, that's unbelievable. $75,000 income, and you're knocked out of the box immediately for at least 75% of the home listings on the market. And the next article I want to share with you was yesterday's article, but it feeds into this same theme. And it's from the Zero Hedge. It's entitled "Housing Costs Are Crushing the American Middle Class. How can we fix the problem?" And a new poll produced by Financial Times and Michigan Ross School of Business, it shows that 60% of poll residents who make $100,000 or more per year ranked housing costs as the top of their list for worries going into 2024. Meaning the crisis is spreading well beyond low-income families and dragging down even the middle class. So as low-income, fixed-income, and middle-income renters are also facing challenges. We talked about the rent costs in this country. The rental costs have surged. Says the market has become so disjointed that middle-income earners are finding it nearly impossible in most states to find homes in their price range, either to buy or even to rent. The average middle-class income, listen to this, is $58,000 to $98,000 annually. The average yearly cost of a family home rental is $25,000, $2,100 per month, and nearly half of a single earner's income on the low end of the middle-class averages. In 2019, the average monthly rent for a home was $1,400. Listen to that, folks. That was in 2019, nearly 5 years ago. That's a 50% increase in the span of only, it says 4 years actually. In order to safely afford the monthly median home rental price of $2,100, a tenant must make over $6,000 after taxes per month. So $6,000 after taxes is what? $10,000 a month gross income. That's well over $100,000 a year, and that's to rent a place. at $2,100 a month. This cuts more than 50%, it says, of the population out of the market. It's not just the cost of housing, though, it's also the crisis of availability. The article goes on to talk about how the issue of illegal immigration is adding millions of asylum seekers every year to the population, all those people looking for housing. With government programs and subsidies helping them, they eventually find that housing, allowing them to eat up another piece of the pie, it says. This leaves legal citizens in the lurch and struggling with low availability. So where's all this end? I mean, it just continues to go up. And they didn't even address the issue of home insurance, which we know continues to skyrocket. Those are the things I want to share today. Look at weekend. I was trying to get some downtime this morning, just get some extra rest. I got my workout in this morning. Hope all of you have been doing that. I harp on it all the time. Stay healthy, get your workouts in, get those steps in, watch the diet. Running about 15 minutes today. I did talk to JB. We were texting yesterday, trying to get a range day together tomorrow. We'll see if that comes together. The wind right now out here is very unpredictable this time of year. So let's see if we can get that on the books for tomorrow. If we can, I'm sure we'll be doing a show from the range for everybody. And with that being said, have a great rest of your evening. God bless. Thanks for being here. Bye.